I want to apologize in advance to everybody with how bad with names I am. It stopped being a joke as I was re-listening to this. Honestly, I think what we should do before we like really get into it, whenever we're doing a recording, like we'll like do our thing where we like talk a little bit, is like you'll refresh me on every character's name because like legitimately like freaking is it Yaren?
Yes.
Oh my god, I got it. I keep forgetting that name. And, like, she's been with us forever. So I just stick with the word Yardle. Yeah, because I'm like, if I play this off as a joke, maybe they'll think I'm not an idiot.
I actually thought you were taking a meme too far, but you legit
No, I legitimately...
You forgot again.
I legitimately forgot. I'm really bad with names.
Apparently.
Like...
I kind of like Yardle. It also lets me call Lyndon something different every time now, dude.
That's fine. That's fine. We got, like, a bunch that we can do.
Larson.
Like a Lawson, Lucy. But yeah, so I think we should start doing that. And like, I don't know, you can like clip this in to the episode randomly. We don't normally do that, but like I feel like we should.
The post notes.
Post notes that are at the beginning, so they're pre-post notes.
Editing magic.
Editing magic.
Welcome to hell, little brother.
I hate everything about what you just said. I hate what it implies.
I was really reconsidering that opening just because it doesn't really play past like the third chapter, but like the first, like when you open the book, it's basically just like, what is this fucking hellscape? No wonder they don't leave this.
I'm glad you didn't call me little sister. Yeah. I appreciate that, Oni-san.
No, apparently no.
So it's a hello, we're back.
Yeah. After a far too long hiatus.
But yeah, I needed to cool down.
And also live life. You've been busy.
And live life. I've been very busy for reasons we will not get into.
Mm-hmm.
But we're back. Trust me, it's good again.
And we are switching up the format a bit this time. We are doing 3 episodes because we are on a bit of a time constraint. We're doing 7 chapters, and then the rest, which is 8, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A lot of stuff happened. I got what I wanted again. It happened again.
You keep like
every time.
It's just really funny, like, because you and I are steeped in this kind of stuff, steeped in writing as well as fantasy. So we feel like we know all the strictures of fantasy and writing, all the tropes and everything. So all your predictions are like, well, logically, this is what should happen if my experiences dictates anything. No, man, you're just getting what you want.
So on here's what I wanted, and here's what I got delivered to me. So I wanted like another character, like a third character to like who wasn't part of like the original crew of like Lyndon and Yardle, just like to observe them both and be like, what a peculiar pair. This person's a sword mage, and this guy is weird and rich. I like weird and rich. Yeah. Not realizing that he is like, I don't know, well, Lyndon.
I like how you're immediately on board. Like, dude, Blondie here, he's fucking in it. You're just like, this guy's he's coming with us.
Yeah, no, it's good. He hasn't like officially done that, but like, come on, that's not.
Yeah, the writing's on the wall.
It's I mean, like, it's going to.
He's sucking his.
Hey, yeah, guess what? Guess what I predict is gonna happen. Jin's coming along for the ride. It is Jin, right? Like that. I think I did the name right.
I think you were wrong. Well, no. Okay, you're probably thinking of Jai Long. Yeah. And then Blondie is Ethan.
Oh no, I haven't met Ethan yet.
Yeah, no, you have, right?
Have I?
Yeah, he's the guy who he's like fucking watching everything. Like he's just like with his Madra sense or whatever. He's like,
oh right. I'm just getting confused because Jin is like the most recent thing. Sorry, yeah, whatever.
It's clearly been a few days since you've listened to this.
It has literally been today. And like I wasn't doing anything else when I'm reading this book. I'm not doing something else.
Okay.
I'm actually just like it looked really creepy actually when I was reading this probably because I was just sitting in the middle of like my room, like just like everything was like all empty. There was nothing going on, and I was just sitting looking at my phone, listening to it being narrated to me for like 3 hours.
Okay. Just focusing.
Yeah, I was like super focusing hard.
Yeah.
But then, like, my brain has, like, maybe 2 kilobytes of RAM. So, like, it was all just... It's just falling out.
The paging file may be good, but...
Falling out the same rate it was coming in. But I was enjoying myself.
Yeah, no, stabby anime guy.
Yes.
By the way, actually, that's how I should have opened it. I should have been like, welcome to anime world, little brother. Because this is... No, not anime. This is... We can actually say this now. This is pretty much like the novel version of Chinese cartoons. Because this is like the Modo Gush... I totally butchered that. Like that really high budget cultivation Xianxia like Chinese anime that they made last year. Yeah. Like, you can actually say that now. And, like, you've got Jai Long with, the red strips. He's like a Naruto character.
You get one more anime reference.
I'm done. You got yours.
What the fuck?
I'm just setting you up for failure, dude.
I did not even make one. No. Oh, okay, I did call you on. I called you Oni-san. So, like... Anyway, so I want to talk about one chapter specifically that I really, really liked. It was the cereal chapter.
Yeah.
Of just, like, blowing up a fucking planet. Like, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, I got really, really invested and actually reread that chapter right after reading it. Because I thought it was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And just everything about it. And then her, like, just containing and destroying anomalies.
I just like the heat-seeking, like, her presence, like, just... I guess, like, her presence using the way, like, as a supercomputer, just latches on to all the, like, the chaos-infected people and just, like, snap your fingers. Her scythe, or her blade does the rest.
Yeah, her
right?
sword that is secretly, like, 8,000 nukes.
Yeah, just, like, do targets acquired, just done. Like,
yeah, no, it's
what
good.
do they call it? Like, razor. Her razor.
Yeah, her razor.
Yeah. So that's pretty fucking
I fucking loved that chapter. I just want, like, more shit on that.
And I also like the little nods to kind of the political dynamics between, like, all the Abaddon members. Or, like, the Abaddon, like, the what are they called? Basically the 7 big guys or whatever.
Yeah, the people who have actual
like,
powers. Yeah,
like, no, you actually have to, like, keep up, like, a front. Like, if you siege your authority at all, like, that's a huge imbalance and you're, like, basically... You're going to become a pushover in the long run, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for, like, when everybody in this story is, like, at God tier. I'm really just, like... It's almost, like... I almost consider this a negative now, actually. The fact that, like, these guys are so overpowered, because I'm just, like, kind of getting impatient. Because I want to, like, see that. Like, I want to see more of that shit.
Yeah.
And it was really cool at first, because Lyndon knew, like, nothing, but now he knows, like, stuff. And I just want to see... I don't want the pacing to slow down on his learning. And it kind of slowed down.
Well, I mean, so there's only, like... Seeing as Lyndon kind of started on the back foot, like, you can't just immediately just go 0 to 100 in, like, 2 books, right?
Yeah, I know, but they even brought up, like... He's like, oh, yeah, you can give you, like, gold in, like, 3 days. I'm like, all right, cool, let's see.
No, it was not 3 days. She's
no.
She's like, so Yaren was talking about, like... The favorable timeline was, like... You'll be iron and we can leave here by spring. So it sounded more like weeks or months. He even said, like, he said months. So it's like, wow, the idea that I could be iron or gold in months?
Yeah. I know, that's really good. But, like, still, like, it makes me, like, I guess what I really want is I just want him to progress very, very, very quickly. So I can get into the good shit of him just, like, using powers and stuff.
How do you think you could, like, actually go about that? Because as we said, like...
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, like, the path right now is, like, the projected path is, like, okay, we will leave the Desolate Wilds in a few months, and you'll be iron, and then you can look towards gold. So, like, how do you think... We'll cut to this right now. Like, how do you think he's going to accelerate any kind of growth if he does?
Well, he can't. That's kind of the thing that I don't like about this book so far. Is, like, previously I didn't know the flag posts for his, like, stages of learning. I mean, I knew them. Like, I knew, like, what an iron was and what a gold was and, like, all that stuff, and, like, what a jade was. And I know that he would get there eventually. I just didn't know, like, when that would be happening or how it would be happening. But now it's like, it's kind of been, like, laid out for me now. And it's kind of like, I'm like, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, the one thing I think I mentioned before the podcast that, in my opinion, I think this is probably the weakest book. And one big reason for that is because I feel like they front-loaded a lot of information coming into this, like, coming into the Desolate Wilds in this setting.
Yeah.
We're just like... It ruins a little bit of the mystique. You're just like, okay, I know what's there, and we're not there yet, right?
Yeah, and so it's like the world building I'm getting to find out right now is not world building about, like, the multiverse, so to speak, or like or everything. It's just like I get to learn about this fun, happy temple with its super spear.
Yeah.
And like I don't get to like do the cool thing where I get to see these like crazy kingdoms that have like all these like superpowers and like this group of 5 people who kill everybody and like this guy who could punch a sea monster to death just so he could eat it. And like it's suddenly a very small scale. And, like, it's good that it's doing that so I can get the nitty-gritty details and hear about all these different clans and, like, and all this stuff. And, like, it makes it more real. But at the same time, like...
The pacing seems a little bit off, I guess?
Yeah, it's a little off. And, like, but it makes sense. Like, it makes perfect sense why it's like this. It would be really weird if it had continued in the same pacing it was doing. But, like...
starting this book, I originally thought, like, we'd be going straight into some sort of empire. Whether or not it's, like, a big empire or a small one, we would get a better view of, like, the world.
I would have loved, like, an extreme scale. Like, something way beyond Lyndon was ever expecting. Like, a gigantic city where everyone's, like, super powered. Like, everyone... It's not a gigantic city and everyone is, like, super powered. Like, everyone is gold and it's, like, a normal thing.
Yeah.
But... Still...
Instead, we're, like, stuck with a bunch of hicks in this backcountry.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I am like kind of happy we're doing like 8 chapters.
Yeah.
Because like we're going to be getting through this book very fast, and like I hear like I don't know anything about books 3, 4, 5, 10. I don't know how long the series is. But like I know that like there's some shit in book 4 that like you specifically want me to know about, which is like the entire reason for you wanting to do this with me.
Not book 4. I think.
That just shows how little I know.
If it was specifically about that character I wanted you to, like, meet...
I don't know anything about this character, too.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I don't know if I mentioned before. I've tried to be clear to the listeners, I tried to not spoil... I've been very, very, very scant on details.
I don't know anything.
I'm not spoiling it, I promise. But, we definitely, like, you will get to see more. But, so to kind of think about things let's go into this chronologically just a bit, just to cover things a bit. So we start off, they're flying over the mountains, they're escaping Sacred Valley. They basically come to the end of the mountain range, and they hit the Desolate Wilds, and they're immediately
Doggos.
So first, they're immediately like, I guess that people are really desperate in the Desperate Wilds, because they touch down, they're still not even technically off the mountains yet, and Yaren's like, yo, let's get you to Copper, bro. Like, go sit down. You're going to have to focus, though. You can't come out of it or you're going to fucking die. So don't come out of your trance until you're done getting to Copper. And of course, he sits down to get to Copper, and they get ambushed by, like, really, like, just desiccated a band of, like, randos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a thing. And that was neat. It was cool having them, like, in the circle, like, you know, being attacked by, like, dogs and remnants and all that stuff. And, like, that was fine.
They got 0 to dicey real quick, though, just, like... They managed to take care of the bandits, and then just immediately like, she's like, well, he reaches down to like see if she's all right, and she just grabs them, and she's like, remnants. He was like, oh yeah, fuck. That was my favorite part. Just like, oh shit. So they fucking book it. He has just enough Madra to like throw her on the cloud, the 1,000-mile cloud. They book it down to like a tree hollow. And then he throws her in it, creates the circle you're talking about, like a scripted circle, and then just he passes out, wakes up, and there's fucking like plague hounds right out front.
Yeah.
So
that was like fine. I want to clarify. There's been nothing bad in this book yet that I want to say like, oh, that was miserable. I was like, this is okay. Like this is fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like we already went over it. It's just the pacing, or I guess the setting a bit.
Yeah, I'm like this was good. This is fine.
But yeah, so they survive the ordeal. They make it to civilization, which is like a mountain-sized pyramid, which is...
Yeah, and it's like filled with like all sorts of magic shit.
Yeah. Like, wow, I wonder what we're doing. It could it possibly be dungeon crawling?
Oh boy. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. This spear, what does it do? Well, it absorbs like remnants and like puts them into you. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. But like you can't do ones that are different from you, because if you do ones that are different from you, it won't mix with your shit. It's like, oh, what if I had like pure Madra and like multiple cores? Well, it'd probably work perfectly for you then.
Now you're thinking.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
well, maybe I should get this spear. Lyndon definitely didn't think because he's kind of an idiot.
Wait, so... Yeah, no, I guess he didn't really think about it.
No, he didn't. This is something I thought about.
Well, to be fair, like...
I'm not an idiot.
He is like kind of like woefully undereducated on exactly like what kind of spot he's in with his pure core.
Yeah.
So like to be fair, he's like still learning a lot about what he can actually do. Meanwhile, Jai Long is like, he's got everything that he's like, I'm gonna like take so much revenge, like all the revenge. So I'm kind of hyped to see what happens there. But yeah, so we got there. They, I guess, ingratiated themselves with the locals.
Yeah. They did their bathing, and then Lyndon got really embarrassed because, what was her name again?
Yeren?
Yeah, because Yeren could, like, use echolocation to figure out how big Lyndon's dick was, and he got really, like,
I never thought about that. Look, I mean, I'm a pure human being, so I never thought about that. That's fucking
That's
hilarious.
Immediately what I thought of.
Well, because like I did think about like, okay, well, what kind, like, could she actually like pick up on the, how loud his heartbeat is or stuff like that?
No.
I never thought
straight
about
up use echolocation to figure out whether or not he's got a chub.
At what rate is like the water just undulating?
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. She
I don't need no fucking gold level sacred artist.
Yeah, and she's like, this one has always known how big your schlong is. If this one was impressed, you'd know.
Yeah. His cores might be copper. But
you're copper in a lot of ways.
But his weapon is... He got some high gold over here.
All right, but like that was fun.
Yeah.
And then like he got swindled out of his money during.
No, he swindled himself. Technically, okay, rather, I want to put it like, he was pretty quick on the uptake. I like to see that he's like immediately just like, he's kind of fiscally savvy, I guess we'll say. Or like, he knows how to barter it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, without actually knowing what like the worth was, like for the local area, he immediately was like, I'm going to push this guy for all I can.
Yeah.
So he did pretty well.
I like how he's like, oh, cool, I'm rich. He's like, oh, fuck, I'm rich.
Yeah. But, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I guess... We're kind of at a point where, like, what I forget what happened at the end.
More has happened. So
what happened at the
after
end?
that, you had like the Fishers.
So it was the Fishers versus the Sand Vipers, right?
Yeah, versus the Sand Vipers. And like, I keep thinking in my mind it's like Sand Snakes, but then I remember this book is actually good.
Oh yeah. So they're having like a petty little like clan kind of.
Yeah, it's like a little petty thing, and then like, oh yeah, but like the freaking S tier clan is gonna come down here and like fuck up our shit, so like we better like split everything. Otherwise, none of us are getting anything.
Mm.
The guy who's got like the magic turban, which is basically what it is. It's like a bunch of red cloth, like script on it.
So I say anime because it actually covers his entire face. Except for like just his mouth, like you can literally see like a small.
Okay. It's like
it's the most Naruto shit.
Yeah, like oh fuck, I don't know a lot about Naruto, but like what the fuck? I know there's like that one character.
There's the one character just covered in bandages.
Yeah, he's just like covered in it.
That's like I don't know a lot about Naruto either. I just know there's that one guy, so I'm just immediately like Chinese cartoons.
Yeah.
But I think the fight just started and we stopped the chapter in
Wait, so it's covering his whole head?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what would have been like really fucking good? Someone should like remix the audiobook so whenever it's him talking, he talks like
No, that's okay. What we're doing is like I'm gonna start taking voice lessons. We're gonna do Cradle Abridged.
Cradle Abridged?
Cradle Abridged. I'm so fucking down with that.
Oh my god, just for that one gag. No, you could make lots of gags.
Yeah, I think there's enough, yeah.
Yeah.
We've like, just the amount of stuff we talked about in the first book is, we got enough.
Yeah, we got enough. So that's like everything that's like happened.
Yeah, but like, we got the Aurelius family kind of barren. I'm kind of hyped. With a name like Aurelius, I kind of want to see where this goes.
Is it weird that I just imagine them all being like blonde-haired, blue-eyed, chiseled just gods? Like, even the women, like especially the women, like they're just like immaculate, like Greeks.
Yeah. Well, like my brain's kind of warped now because like the obvious evocation is Rome, right?
Yeah.
The Romans. But like when I think of like Rome or Greek now, like when I think of these kinds of names, I immediately think of Warhammer. So I think of like like I just double down on like, oh, they're fucked.
Dude, I just imagine them being like just like Romans. They wear no clothes. They do not wear clothes.
Yeah. Just a bunch of naked chiseled.
Just a bunch of chiseled naked people.
But they only do it like it's not because they're enlightened. They're not just wearing like sashes or anything like Greeks. They do it just to intimidate all other sacred artists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm really, really excited to see what happens, like what they are, like what's going on with them. who this weird dude with the Madra shit is. Like, just like, I can see everything. Ah.
Well, like, if it doesn't describe them as wearing any clothes, like, if it doesn't describe their clothes at all, I'm assuming they're naked.
Oh, by the way...
No one can take that headcanon from
me. Actually, we're going to hold that. I'm going to put that down in those notes, like that spreadsheet I've got.
What spreadsheet?
The spreadsheet... I got a spreadsheet of your predictions.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't say whether or not I thought they would have clothes or not. Can I be wrong? Can this be, like, the thing I want that I'm definitely not going to get? If I get this one, I swear to fucking God.
I think this is like a really because I haven't paid attention to it, so let's go with it.
I'm not going to say that they're described as naked.
No, this will be like
I'm going to say that their clothing is not described at all, so I can imagine they are naked, and no one could prove me otherwise.
If they say don't describe clothing at all, then
clearly it's because there is no clothing to describe.
This will be a bonus points thing, like a bonus prediction. So,
that's bonus points. If no clothing is described, I'm going to assume that's because there's no clothing to describe.
By the way, I just this a random off note. That scene with Ethan, like the guy who can see everything, basically. Yeah. So he does a thing where he gains a lot of information just based off of deductive reasoning, right? Yeah. That's like a better Sherlock scene than Sherlock did. Because BBC Sherlock.
It's been a long fucking time.
Yeah, BBC Sherlock, they introduce him doing the same thing, but it's this really wild, just comes to these wild conclusions. You wouldn't actually think that. This is that, only better.
I barely remember.
It's bad. I'm sorry.
I feel like it would be bad if I watched it again. I don't remember.
Personal opinions doesn't reflect on everyone's opinion, of course.
I
do not reflect the company I work for.
I think you're probably fine. Okay. I don't think corporate's going to murder you because
lots of people like Sherlock, dude. Corporate could just axe me here because I'm not a man.
You're corporate.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. You're holding the knife. It's you're ready to commit seppuku. You're is
that whole shtick just got way off the trail?
You're about to stab yourself. Oh yeah, I don't have to do this.
This in itself is a really shitty sitcom scene right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to hear, other than your bonus prediction, what do you want?
Interesting. What do I want? I want to be actually greedy, and not cartoonishly greedy, like a bunch of naked men, but actual greedy.
Because at this point you have to start getting crazy.
Okay. Lyndon gets the spear.
Lyndon gets the spear,
and he starts doing spear shit and absorbing stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Okay. And is that okay? Yeah, we'll do that. And then that's just that's for the rest of the book. You think in the end he's gonna get the spear?
For sure. In terms of the rest of the book, yeah, I think that's gonna happen.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the next 7 chapters. I want it. I'm gonna be super greedy. I want it in the next 7 chapters.
Okay.
Everything on red.
You gotta start.
I want to be wrong, man.
You gotta start betting high because Okay. And what do you think is gonna happen?
What do I think is gonna happen? Well, I mean, we're gonna at least see the spear. We're gonna see that. I think so. What I think is gonna happen is that family's gonna show up. Right around when.
Jesus. I just can't stop thinking of Warhammer, the Empire, just marching into the transcendent ruins.
Excuse me, it is not an empire; it is an imperium.
Imperium. I'm sorry.
Freaking get your facts straight.
I actually should know this, but because I've exposed so much of it from you, I should know that by now.
No one has to know that.
Nerd.
The Emperor protects. But anyway, so yeah, I imagine they're gonna find the spear right around the same time that family's gonna show up, and they're gonna be "Give me the spear." That's what I predict is going to happen.
Okay.
Maybe they'll get it.
And that's within the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, no.
That's what I think is going to happen in the next.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Because we're doing the next 7 chapters. Yeah.
Yeah. Both of those are for the next 7 chapters.
Okay. Perfect.
In terms of the whole book, I expect there to be a lot more details with what the spear is.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a space spear or something like that. They're going to find out more about the outside world.
Yeah, because the story of that was no living sacred artist could create the transcendent.
Yeah.
Transcendent
so
theoretically, the
fun fact with this. What I think is going to happen is the same as what I want is going to happen. They're actually the same thing this time. Yeah, I know, crazy. So what I think is going to happen, what I want to happen is I want the spear, I want its details to be revealed. We're it's from space, there's more space, and just like them finding out the greater expansion of how big their multiverse is.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like, Lyndon taking the spear because Lyndon's a fucking thief. But
a little boy.
I think that's like what is going to happen during the whole book. I think Surreal's going to show up again at some point in terms of the whole book. I want her to show up. Actually, yeah, that's what's going to be the division here. What I want to happen is Surreal to show up, but she's not going to.
She's a little busy at the moment.
Yeah, she's not going to, but I want her to. I want her to show up, and then I want Yardle to be like, wait, she was real? And then do the Home Alone face. And you're like, yeah, I wasn't crazy. And then they'll have the other guy who's gonna like travel with them. Be like, Space Angel, I don't believe it. And she'll be like, no, you don't understand. I didn't believe it either. But then I saw her, and she's real, and she's gorgeous. And now I'm questioning things about myself.
Look at my marble. Check out my cores.
Check out my cores and my marble.
Technically, I'm from space.
I'm space.
Technically, he is, because he did kind of go. I'm assuming that she took him into the stratosphere to transport him around. Just saying.
Lyndon is not a spaceman.
Technically, he's from space because he went to space back.
I hate that. But that's my overall things for this whole book.
Okay, it's pretty reasonable.
I think that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh wow, 25 minutes.
Hey, dude, we've been holding it in, and it's also long, like more chapters. So.
Oh yeah, it's fair enough. Do we have to do like a percentage-wise thing? It says like X longer, like 2 more chapters.
I don't give a shit about corporate anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't give a shit about corporate, New York corporate. You should give a shit about yourself, man.
Yeah. Thanks. What a wholesome note to leave off on.
Yeah, give a shit about yourself, everybody.
Give a shit about yourself, everybody. 2019.
You're worth it, probably.
You can try.
It is statistically likely you are worth it.
I feel like a bad guy here. Okay, you know what? We will catch up with Larceny and Yardle next week for the next 7 chapters. Please join us then.
Yep. See you later. More like Lynn don't, am I right?
Should I refresh you now, or?
That sounds really bad.